In the following pictures are the supplies that you will need to cut the straight lines: scissors, ruler, paper. Scissors. Since this is for children, children's scissors would be more suited to use. These are right-handed scissors and are to be held like so. Next, you will need a ruler to create the precise lines to cut on. A pencil to draw the line. Any pencil or pen may be used. Line the ruler up where you want your line to be and how long. Next, line the scissors up with the line so then you are ready to cut. Here I have my lines and it is in a square. I am ready to cut. This is my finished product after I've used my ruler, my pencil, and my scissors precisely. This is how you begin to cut a straight line. Take your scissors. I am right-handed, so my scissors are in my right hand. I take it with my left hand and I position it. You start cutting. There's different ways to start cutting. Make sure that you are always on the line. Do not go over the line. Do not go under the line. There are different ways to cut. Here I am cutting slow. There's shorter cuts and then there are longer cuts. Here are the longer cuts. Now that you know how to cut a straight line, you can move on to shapes. I have a triangle and a rectangle. Since it is on the opposite side of the paper, I will turn the paper around. Now, line up the scissors and cut straight. It's easier to use little cuts once you get to the corner. Turn your scissors and then keep cutting. Little cuts are a lot easier to get started until you get to the bigger cuts to go straight across. It is always wise to turn your paper whenever you need to. Don't turn your body, turn your paper. Now that you've done a rectangle, now there is a triangle. Line up your scissors and start cutting. As soon as you have the line, you can start cutting the straight line. Now, take your paper. If you are having trouble getting a good angle, always have your scissors straight. Then turn your paper. Never turn yourself, never turn your scissors. Those will create crooked lines. As you've seen, I had trouble with the corner. You always take your time and never rush. Continuing on with shapes. Since I have the shapes at the top of the paper, now I have them at the bottom of the paper. You do not have to turn the paper if it is easy for you to access the shape. Keep going with the straight line, use the cuts that you choose, and continue cutting. It does not matter which way you cut. You can continue around the shape or you can cut each line separate. Just don't cut the shape. The rectangle is still the same as the others. Since this is at the end of the paper, you can start cutting. Line up your line and cut. As soon as you have it where you need it, you can begin cutting either short strokes or long strokes to get the shape the way you want it. Once you feel that it's getting uncomfortable to cut, you can always move from one side to the other. Once you move to the other side, just continue cutting on the line as follows. You may have to move the paper in an odd way to get it positioned in the way to cut it correctly. Just make sure that you cut on the line or your lines will be crooked. That is how you cut straight lines and straight lines into shapes. I hope this was helpful. Paul Poiret is a famous artist, or you could say fashion designer, the king of fashion, who uses straight lines to create his fashions.